Hey guys, Mike Aaron with Really Successful Barry and Roger webinars here, doing an additional training for your Instify members portal. Today we're going to talk about content strategies and product strategies. You've probably already seen some of the other modules and some of the other lessons, and hopefully you've got your Shopify store set up, you've got your Instagram account set up, and now you may even have tried doing some shoutouts, but you're wondering, how do I source products for my Shopify store that are relevant to my chosen audience, and how do I also then go ahead and get really great content working into my Instagram account so when people come, it doesn't look like it's just one big advertisement. That's exactly what we're going to cover today, and so this quick video should really help to get you started. So again, we're assuming here that you've already watched the training on shoutouts, and just for a 30-second recap, a shout-out is essentially our backdoor strategy where we're going to follow really big Instagram accounts that are within our niche, and then we're going to be able to quickly identify whether or not these are accounts that also would be willing to sell shout-outs. I think that's one of the key points, is that when you do an outreach to an Instagram account, you want to make sure that you are paying attention to the key indicators for whether or not that account readily will deal in shoutouts, because not every account will. Just because they're big or over 1 million people, a lot of people have never heard of shoutouts. So there is video training in that. And I would urge you to review that if you're having trouble getting shoutouts. Now, let's assume you do find people willing to sell you shoutouts. Should you go ahead and just pay for a shoutout with an empty Instagram account and hope that something happens because you put in a couple product photos? My feeling is no. I think in essence, you're going to be paying anywhere between $50 to $200 for this shoutout. You want to have the best possible Instagram account. So that means you're going to want to have really good, relevant products that are available on your Shopify store and really good content around those products, so that when people come, they fall in love with not just the products, but they also fall in love with the account. They fall in love with you, with your Instagram account. It's somewhere that they want to go because they see interesting stuff. Okay? So here's the quick strategy for products. Here's the big secret. It's really not such a secret. I mean, AliExpress. Okay, this is just an e-commerce powerhouse. You can see here I've got AliExpress up. And what AliExpress is, it's basically, these guys will ship pretty much anywhere in the world. The prices might be a little higher than their sister site, which is Alibaba.com. Alibaba.com requires you to do really bulk ordering and deal with inventory. This site will allow you to do more direct shipping, which is definitely within your your interest, because it keeps the cost down. And at least when you're getting started, it's a really good way to source products. So one of the things that I always encourage people to do is, rather than being too exact about sourcing products, you want to go in here and pick your niche, and then just look for things that catch your eye. So for example, for my sample store, I'm using running, and this is something I'm going to be building from scratch over the next few weeks with you guys. So for running, if I put in here running, okay, and I just click running, I mean, just a very general category. Now, shoes are the first thing that come up. I mean, a lot of people think shoes. Shoes are not where I would start, right? If we remember from Roger's training from prior lessons, he talks about mass market products, things that are between $10, $50, easy to group together. So even though these shoes are really $50, they do kind of fit my price range. I think when people start looking for shoes, they're really, it's a bigger decision, okay? Especially when you're a runner. But if I'm looking for things like, it even suggests here, running pants, right? Well, now you can start to see, I mean, running pants are not such a crucial decision. It's a mass market item. It's something that's easy to make a decision about, easy to buy. And look, I mean, other than the Nike ones, or really, the brand names, you can get some really cheap, cool running pants. Like here, $13.70. It's a pretty good price point. These are even better. The shorts, right? $7.65. So another thing that runners might need, armbands, for phones, right? So now you're really cooking, because these things can retail for $15, $20, and here you can get them from AliExpress for $2, $3. I mean, this to me is the winner. And what I would say is that when I'm going through and I'm thinking about which one of these do I select, I want to find, don't worry about reading the descriptions. Go through and see what catches your eye. Right here, boom. This catches my eye, okay? So I'm going to open it in a new tab. And, again, it's $5. It's kind of cool. I think if this was on my Instagram, I could probably sell this. So, again, what do I do at this point? I want to take this URL. I could put it in a Google Sheet, you just make a quick real spreadsheet, very simple spreadsheet. Doesn't have to be complicated. You just get that up there, and let's just do that really quick. And so the only information you're really going to put in here that I would think is relevant is, product, right? Here, product, price, link. Okay, boom. We got the link. That goes in here. Running armband, right? We know that was the product category. And the price was, again, $5. So what I want to do is basically go through all of the products when I find that sort of price point and what I think would be mass market and whatever catches my eye. Again, this is kind of cool. They're selling a lot, right? This is an example, guys. They're selling 50 pieces. Again, so I might put that down, I might not. But as I go through, I look for, this is a cool running band. Again, within my price range, 182 to 194. And so I take this link, I say, running armband, go back to my Google sheet, right? And again, if I already got the category, I could say $2 and link, okay? And it can be this simple. And again, once you get down to 50 on the running armbands, you've got a really good collection of potential products to put on your Shopify store. So one other twist to this is that I can start to even niche down within my store, right? Let's say, for running, one of the things that I was considering doing was, I'm a runner and I run with my dog. I'm actually running a marathon with my dog next year. We're just doing a 10K. Dogs really can't run that far, but she's a big dog. She's a Dalmatian, a mix between a Dalmatian and a Border Collie. Very cute. Hopefully we get a picture of her up here in a later training. But the idea is there are lots of people that run with their dogs. That's actually something I've seen in marathons. It's a sub-niche of my larger store niche. So for example, if I wanted to do some products for that, maybe I have a section of my store that's just devoted to running with your pets. It's kind of combining two niches that both have mass market appeal. So here you go. Okay, I went through and I saw this leash the other day and I said, wow, this is really cool. So again, I would take this, go to my spreadsheet, and I would say dog run, or maybe I'll even say leash, we know it's for running. And, again, $2 price point. Here's the link. So you get the idea. Now, that is for sourcing the products, okay? And but what about sourcing content? Because we know that you don't necessarily want to just put products on your Instagram. I think that it's not a really good way to build an Instagram following. You want to do what Roger talks about. I think in an earlier training he says that there's the 80-20 rule, meaning for every 5 Instagram posts you're doing, 1 should be a product promotion. That's how you can build a really good audience around the niche. So for me, it's running, and if I'm doing the dog running sub niche, it's pets, pets and running. So to put those together, again, I would want a lot of images. Now you might say to me, where do I get these images? I could take some on my own, but I'm not a photographer. So you guys can see here I got Flickr. Flickr is owned by Yahoo. It's a photo sharing site. But what's really cool about Flickr is, so here we are on Flickr, right? What's really cool about Flickr is you get professional photographers, people that are great photographers sharing their photos on Flickr. I mean, look at these dog pictures, right? So I use the same principle that I use for picking products that I want to do for picking content. What jumps out at me? I mean, this is great. Again, if I want to sell a dog leash, right, this is just fantastic. So again, I can click down here in the bottom right corner, there's a little arrow, and I can download this picture, and I can download it in I would go for a medium size, and I download it. And again, to get it onto Instagram from my computer, I'm going to show you a tool in the next training of how to do that. But if I want to do it through my phone, because you got to really use mainly your phone for Instagram, it's not so hard. Again, save it to something like Google Drive or Dropbox, some kind of network drive, or even put it up on Facebook, right? Right from you put it on Facebook, and then some way that you can access it and then get it onto your phone, or you can even sync the photos with your phone, through a cable or whatever on your computer. But the idea is get the photos through your computer on Flickr. You could also use their mobile app, but I just think it's easier using your computer. Get the photos, collect the photos you want to post, and then you can then use your phone, get them in sync, and then put them up on Instagram. But I mean, how great would it be to have this photo and then say, I'd rather the caption or the description could be, this guy wants to run, and I got my leash, I'm ready to run, something like that, right? And this goes up, and then maybe another photo goes up about a dog, with a leash and running. So maybe I could even find this one. I mean, this is great. Look at this. There you go. And so I would take this dog and I'd say, hey, give me, let's go. I'm ready to go too. Let me try that or something like that. But again, the idea is to do these themes around dogs and leashes and exercise and running. And eventually, the next thing I want to post is a picture of, say, this. These leashes, which might be good for running. I mean, these might not be, or a bungee leash or a running leash, And so you see, I've sort of pre-sold people with the content from Flickr. Now, you might be asking me, well, Mike, what about, people getting upset if I'm using their Flickr photos? And that could potentially be a concern. So I'm going to show you a really quick trick that sort of ensures that people aren't going to kind of come after you. Again, I think just off the record, not giving you legal advice, I don't think it's such a big deal. Again, when you're going to put Instagram, photos on your Instagram from Flickr, people might dig that you're even sharing it, especially if you tell them, hey, this is from so-and-so on Flickr. But just to be safe, I'm going to encourage everybody to use this. This little drop down, any license, okay? If you pick all Creative Commons, what that means is these photos are narrowed down to photos that people have said they're okay with other people reusing without any kind of agreement or contacting the seller. So anything here, for the most part, you are okay to use on your Instagram account. Now I want you guys, this is great, right? Running with a dog. What I want you guys to really be aware of, though, is that what I said there, right? Your Instagram account, meaning to post this on Instagram. What you can't necessarily do without, going into greater detail on what it is these people are allowing you to do, is you can't take these photos and then make products with them, like put it on a coffee mug. Or I'd even be careful about maybe using these photos directly on a Facebook ad. But on your Instagram account, a Creative Commons license is fine. And in most cases, all people want you to do is give them what we call attribution. So let's see if we can just find a quick example of somebody that wants attribution. So this guy, some rights reserved. This is where you're going to look. This is a great little picture of a dog running on a leash. Some rights reserved. Click that and see what this guy wants you to do. So here, attribution, right? This little icon of it looks like a bathroom, like a men's room, but this means attribution. All it means is provide appropriate credit, meaning in my a link to the license and indicate if changes were made. So basically, in my Instagram description, all they're saying is, hey, if you're going to use this guy's photo, say, photo, just this dog wants to run, and then I could say photo by Buzz Farmers, right? And then just put this link in there. I could just put maybe his Flickr ID in there. But the idea is that people know who this photo came from. So then again, the key here is to then mix up your promotional photos from AliExpress, your promotional products, with your content photos, and to build a really robust following that you can have a nice sort of mix of pictures. I'd say if you did this for a week, let's say you committed to doing 5 a day. After a week, you're going to have 25 or 35, and if you really want to get into this, who knows, you can do 2 weeks, right? Have 70 photos on your Instagram account so that when people come, when you finally do decide to start testing a photo, hopefully you'll even start to get some traffic already. But when you start to then think, well, what do I want to do a shout out for? When people do come to your account, because remember, they're coming to the photo, but they're also coming to your account, they'll start to look around. It's the same idea about having lots of products in your store for people to browse. You want them to not just look at the one photo and like the one photo that you paid for the shout out for. I mean, that's great, and that'll get you some traction. But having a lot of other things that, the traffic's already there. You've paid for it. How awesome is it that then that traffic can go ahead and start liking, commenting, sharing your other photos? And possibly then seeing other products, and then there's more likelihood they'll click through the link to your store. All right? Great. In the next training, we're going to talk about the amazing tool that we discovered that will allow you to use your PC or your Mac to post photos to Instagram, to put captions on them, to make them memes, and so much more. So we'll see you then. Thanks so much.